Hello and welcome to What's Going On, the only news show that I get my news from. Now, as loyal fans of the show already know, we missed last week, so this is going to be a bit of a 2-week special. I'll cover some of the biggest stories from the week we missed, and then I'll get on to this week. First off, let's start with the reason I didn't do an episode last week. It was Easter. Yup, Easter, which, if you aren't religious, means candy, and if you are religious, means candy, plus thinking about a man being tortured to death. For Catholics, it all starts on Good Friday. According to Scripture, that's the day Jesus was arrested and publicly executed. He was forced to drag a heavy wooden cross through the streets while being whipped relentlessly. Then, people drove spikes through his hands and feet to nail him to said cross. I'd hate to see what a bad Friday is like. After Good Friday is Holy Saturday, where not much happened, and then the main event, Easter Sunday. On this day, the tomb where Jesus' body was being held was found to be completely empty, no body in sight. This confused everyone, especially Jesus' disciples. So they held a meeting to discuss it, but halfway through the meeting, you'll never guess who showed up. That's right, Jesus walked in the room. The disciples were like, "Bruh, what? How are you still alive?" Then Jesus revealed the shocking truth. He had never actually died on that cross, and the whole crucifixion was merely an elaborate April Fool's Day prank, perhaps the greatest of all time. Speaking of April Fool's Day, that was 2 weeks ago too. But I'm tired of talking about the semi-recent past. I want to talk about the recent past. But things did happen 2 weeks ago, so I'm going to do a quick lightning round to recap everything. First up, April Fool's Day. Terrible. There weren't any good pranks. No silly categories on Netflix, no wacky new products, and I didn't sit on one whoopee cushion. Next up, the Suez Canal. Yep, the Suez Canal was having some serious blockage issues. I was having some similar problems, and I don't know how they got that boat out of there, but I solved mine with fiber, fruit, and exercise. And finally, in our lightning round recap, a gender reveal party killed 2 pilots. Gender reveal parties strike again. If there were only some way to avoid the dangers involved, like not doing dangerous things. Nah, that would never work. Anyway, 2 pilots were flying a plane at a gender reveal party, and they were supposed to reveal the gender of the baby somehow, but instead they crashed into the ocean and died. I guess that's one way to tell people you're getting an abortion. All jokes aside, though, it was a tragic event. But at least these pilots died for a good cause. A gender reveal party. And that wraps up our recap of 2 weeks ago. What a fascinating time. But now on to last week. Well, Prince Philip died. And DMX died. Fuck. And the Top Gun Maverick release date was delayed? No, it can't be true. And those are the only 3 stories that happened last week. But I don't want to end on that note. Isn't there something a little more positive I could talk about? Yes, there is. It's a fascinating little story coming out of the world of science. Elon Musk has successfully trained a monkey to play video games. Oh my god, so that shirt I had in grade 5 was right. But that's not even the craziest part. This monkey that plays these video games does so with his mind. Take a look at this.
This is Pager. He's a 9-year-old macaque who had a Neuralink placed in each side of his brain about 6 weeks ago. He's learnt to interact with a computer. The links record from more than 2,000 electrodes implanted in the regions of Pager's motor cortex that coordinate hand and arm movements. After only a few minutes of calibration, we can use the output from the decoder to move the cursor instead of the joystick. Pager still moves the joystick out of habit, but as you can see, it's unplugged. He's controlling the cursor entirely with decoded neural activity. One of the things the Neuralinks allow Pager to do is to play his favourite video game, Pong. To control his paddle, on the right side of the screen, Pager simply thinks about moving his hand up or down. We've removed the joystick altogether. Now that he's up to speed, let's increase the difficulty and see how well Pager can play with the Neuralink. As you can see, Pager is amazingly good at Mind Pong.
Well, that was really something. But that's our last story for the day, so I'm gonna have to say goodbye. And you know what? I'm pretty tired, so I'm gonna go straight to my bed for the night. Alright, see you next time.
Mind Pong.